titled Bend. Y'all can hear me okay, right?
Yeah.
I found myself roommates with self-sabotage again. She found me under a full moon and proposed we move in together. I obliged because being alone with her was at least a solitude I could choose instead of one bestowed upon me. She unpacked all her doubts onto the things I smiled at or about. She told me my art sucked, my poem sucked, my clothes were whack, the love I had was anything but that. I sat with her lies, I slept with them. They followed me to my yoga mat. I tried to stretch past them, but the lies of not good enough, nor stable enough, nor loved enough were as rigid as prison bars refusing to break. I thought I'd break, or had broken something, or someone. I remembered how to bend, backwards, front ways, left and right, finding ways to groove to my own funk. I reminded myself that it takes grit and maybe the ability to flex to be a survivor of your own mind, of harm, of hurt, of extraordinary circumstances I sometimes internalize. Life ain't easy, nor does it come dripping in gold and covered in sunshine kisses. Sometimes life comes at you backwards and front ways, left and right, and sometimes you bend, but you never break. Thank you. This next piece is entitled Nikki and James, or a Poem for Hope. In my time on earth, I've mothered more sons than I've birthed. I still ain't got no kids. I've enjoyed peaceful days in solitude, finding ways to thrive in the loveless wilderness that is sometimes life. I protested for you. I risked my body, my soul's temple for you. I sacrificed my freedom for you. Tender chocolate skin, handled incorrectly by boys and girls in blue. I'm fighting for my life and yours too. No matter how the world tries to shape my view, no matter the harm I've experienced from you, I still stand by your side, acting as intuition and safe haven and guide. And this ain't no pick me shit. I will pick your shit up and put it on the sidewalk to be picked up on Monday morning or picked apart on Sunday night. Do not pick a fight with me. I'm not with the shits, but if you start shit can get real shitty real quick.
Let's go.
Give me my inner peace, and I promise to match your energy, and your energy. My prayers can intercede on your behalf with the gods in heavens above. It's done with love for you, for me, for a future where my nephews have air that doesn't choke and water that doesn't bleach and sun that doesn't boil. Wow. I wonder what life would be like if you chose love instead of fight, if you chose us instead of versus, if you built homes instead of arguing over tables, because as every year passes, there's one less man and one less woman at the table. Lost to a world that doesn't love us, but maybe we should, maybe we could love us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. This next piece is entitled Black Women When Searching for Love Turns to Love. The heaviest part of the summer had come. When planets turned retrograde to right things they turned wrong. Lightning bugs hover in night skies, float in the bedrooms and cast silhouettes against sticky painted walls. The air sinks from the heavy moisture that lingers about when Fahrenheit won't dip below 80, not even for the night. As temperatures rise, so too does the desire to sweat with another. The grip of loneliness that clawed at necks and backs and loins for months on end reaches its peak between peaked knees, arched backs, and softly soaked mattresses. Damn. It's not the lack of conjunction between heavenly bodies that weighs itself upon my spirit. That's something so easy to come by that all it takes is for me to open my eyes. It's the lack of inside jokes and match steps and breaths and strokes. The missing puzzle piece being the warmth of another soul who is capable of reciprocating the regard and touch I tenderly give. A love I tenderly give to any soul who needs. A love I gave to every nigga, bitch, and in between who needed to draw a sip of spirit to keep them alive for longer than they anticipated being. Mm-hmm. Woo! At one point, I barely had enough for me. I got mad one day, and I built a ladder up to God's throne because I thought she was ignoring my prayers. The clouds of sadness wouldn't let me near. When I shine, you shine. I sang to the sun, hoping my voice would will it to rise. I want to feel skin that isn't my own. I prayed. I left prayers and tears and years of offerings, hoping they'd soak down to my roots, hoping something would grow. A goddess I know said, we give love, my sister. As she kissed forehead after forehead after forehead after forehead, imploring souls to love, to give love. But at what cost when no one finds the time to give it back? It felt safer to box up love. So I hid it away in the recesses of my mind, hoping that if I ignored it, maybe the lack of it wouldn't be so big. But I remembered how ugly the world looked when I had nothing and no one to love. When I treated love as a thing bestowed upon me instead of the beautiful thing hiding behind bitter blood, brittle bone, and fat. I reached my hands deep within and found something so bright that it eclipsed all the things that never really mattered anyway. I became so self-centered. I became so self-centered that when I finally got my head up my own ass, I imploded into a supernova, radiating out the love I found in utter collapse so that when I shine, you shine. 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 It's a mutual glow, drawing one to another like moth to flame or lightning bug to lightning bug. May the magnetism of my soul pull you to a path of love. Love of self, of life. Something more than just empty love or mama's love, but a love that makes one take notice of how beautiful the moonrise is on the BQE right by the promenade. Mm-hmm. I'm committed to a path whose God enlightens love, so of course I find you. Thank you.
One more piece, and I swear it's not as long as the one I just did. All right.
So this last piece is entitled Spread. Some people call me a bitch, and some people call me a witch, and some people call me sis, and sometimes I call me sis, and sometimes I'm interested, and sometimes I'm interested, and sometimes I elevate, sometimes I spread. Sometimes I'm red mixed with yellow sunshine, sometimes I'm sienna and cinnamon, and sometimes I'm outside your son's window telling him to sin again. Sometimes my Aries rising takes over my Scorpio sun. Sometimes my blood boils faster than it runs. Sometimes I break down. Sometimes I run. But all the time I love. And every day I laugh. And sometimes I rant. And I find the time to rave. And I always create. And sometimes I bend, but no times do I break. And sometimes I fuck. But all the time I perform. And all the time I shine. Especially on the days ending in Y. Those days I do the most. I pause at the mirror just to boast. I swim and surf and call it swerve. I might get down, but a bitch will never drown. Woo! Every breath I take and every step I make, no matter what I do it all in truth. I do it all with love. I do it all with all of me. I do it all with love. Thank you.
Woo!
Thank you so much. Once again, my name is Emmé de la Soul. You can find me on Instagram as EMMEDELASOL. I ain't seen none of y'all pull out y'all phone and write that down.
I don't know how to feel about that. But thank you for listening. Have a good night.